Hi, and welcome back to Times Square today, where we've got some of the top experts from all around the world right here for you in beautiful Times Square, New York City. And today, I have just one of those experts, my friend, Mr. Will Wright. Will, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you, man. All right, so we've been hanging out. I know about your story, but our viewers don't. So tell us a little bit about you. You had a fascinating background. Let's talk about that.
Well, I grew up in the South, and one thing as I was growing up, I noticed that there was a massive void when it came to things like coaching and training and speaking and even financial literacy. So growing up through the military, through college, that's one thing that I groomed myself to want to be an expert in, as far as helping others develop their skill sets, their inner abilities to be able to go out here and influence and impact communities.
That's amazing. I know you've done some work with John Maxwell. We can talk about that. And the thing about it is that success leaves clues. That's one of my favorite quotes. And where you're talking about, there was a lack of coaching. There were people in other places in the world who knew how to make this happen. But in certain places, or in your hometown right now, there may not be somebody who has the expertise needed to help you get there. Well, now we know there is because you're there.
Right.
But let's talk a little bit about, let's talk about your training and coaching background with John Maxwell and some of the other things you do.
Well, the training that I did with John C. Maxwell was phenomenal. It was a 3-day training process, certification program to teach everyone that attended the event how to be more of a prolific speaker, be more of an impactful leader, because we all know that everything in our community rises and falls off leadership. And also when you're talking about training, so many people, whether it's sales training, they don't really know the art of sales. Leadership training, as far as developing your staff within your organization or within your educational platform. A lot of people just don't have that leadership gene, so to have a roadmap or a platform to teach and empower and educate, to me, that's phenomenal.
I think that's amazing. And I know you teach and train and speak a lot in business and sales and leadership, but I know you're also really passionate about financial literacy. Tell me about that.
Well, I can tell you, growing up again, when I look at statistics, and I was a product myself, back in 2000, I was a brand new second lieutenant in the United States Army, and I went to buy a vehicle, and I was told that I didn't qualify because of my credit. But I didn't know if I rewinded 4 more years earlier, in 1996, as a freshman in college, when I received the credit card, and I maxed it out because I was totally financially illiterate, that it would come back 4 years later to hunt me and prevent me from getting the vehicle of my dream. And I was like, oh my God, this was something that I had to add to my portfolio to go out and educate, empower others on the importance of credit, on the importance of budgeting, finance, things of that magnitude that can really help you build wealth and have purchasing power in America.
I love it, and the thing about it is, the whole credit system is, it's confusing, but if someone knows, it's not a mystery. There are distinct things you can do to fix your credit, no matter what you've done in the past, to get it back to a place where you're able to get the credit you need to make smart decisions, not bad ones, but smart decisions.
Right. Absolutely, and to basically piggyback on that, most of the time people say, well, it's easy to have great credit, just pay your bills. But sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Yeah, right.
Layoffs, jobs reduce the hours because their profit margin isn't where it needs to be, so I got to cut hours. So what I tell people, in addition to ensuring that you build your credit, you got to start investing in yourself, saving money so you can have emergency funds, so you can pay those monthly expenses in the event something catastrophic like that happens to you.
Absolutely, great advice. Now, let's talk about the state of the speaking and coaching industry right now, because there are a lot of people out there who aren't certified by John Maxwell, don't have the experience you have. You're a certified public speaker as well, who, I'm a speaker, trainer, coach, butcher, baker, candlestick, I can do it all.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of that out there. Let's talk a little bit about that and how you're different than that.
Well, the thing I tell anybody, always look at the credentials of the individual that say that they're a certified coach, trainer, speaker, and look at the results that they've gotten through their own personal testimonies. Because at the end of the day, anyone that wants to be a better speaker, they want to make sure that they're aligning themselves with someone that not only is a great speaker, but has really taught others how to become great speakers. Not only is a great coach, and whether it's a business coach or a life coach, but also within their own life has impacted others to duplicate what they're done. So at the end of the day, people have to understand that it's not a fad. You really want someone that can give you the results that you're paying the money to receive.
Absolutely, and one of the things I love to compare it to is, look, the most successful athletes in the world, they rely on coaches.
Right.
They're the top of their game. They can beat their coach.
Right.
But they still need that third party validation, sometimes permission to think a certain way.
Correct.
Sometimes a bit of course correction, right?
Right.
When they can't see it because they're in their head. It's like, well, if you would just stop twisting the club or whatever it is, they're like, oh man, I just been doing it that way so long. I know, but you got to change it now.
Right.
You need someone like that. Again, it doesn't even matter if sometimes people go, what can I learn from that guy? I have 10 times the money or experience he has. Well, maybe a lot, because again, most athletes could beat their coach.
Right.
But their coach knows what they need when they need it.
Absolutely.
Love it. So tell me this, if you could go back, I like to ask this question to smart entrepreneurs like you. If you go back to your startup self, young Will, and give him a piece of advice to help him be more successful, what would it be?
I tell anybody, myself, just to stay passionate and stay committed to what you love. Because we all love something. One thing I've learned through my own experience and through my own personal travels, that so many people are in the graveyard that never really allowed their inner self to come to fruition, their inner attributes and skill sets to come to fruition, because they were always worried about what other people said they couldn't accomplish and couldn't do. So a young Will, I would say, guess what? Lean forward in a foxhole, go out here, make it happen, because greatness awaits you and anyone that wants to achieve whatever you want to accomplish.
I love it, man. Now, I know there's some people who want to achieve greatness. They need a coach. They need some help maybe with financial literacy. I know you want them not to be embarrassed. I know you want them to reach out.
Absolutely.
How do they find you?
They can find me through my website, and they can also reach me via the office at 254-432-9151.
Good old Texas boy. Texas number down there in Texas, right?
Come on, good old Texas. Hey, we do big things in Texas, and helping others is a part of that.
I love it, man. Thanks for joining me, Will.
Hey, thanks for having me, Nick.
It's been great to have you. We'll be right back on Times Square today.